Hello, dear children. I welcome you all to this Standard 6 Geography class. And today I am going to teach you Chapter 2 Globe, the Earth's Model. Kindly, all of you, open at page number 97. So, let's start the chapter. Now, we will see what is globe. A globe is like a tiny replica of our planet. Children, here replica, what is the meaning of replica? Replica means an exact copy of something. Earth, it depicts every feature of our earth as a model. It is mounted on an axle to allow rotation. Axle means a bar that connects a pair of wheels on a vehicle. It is the closest representation of the earth. Globes are useful in many ways. These can be summed up as follows. Now we'll see one by one. Globes are useful in understanding how days and nights are caused. We can actually rotate the globe to understand the rotation of the earth. Secondly, the globes are useful in understanding how seasons change over a year. The earth is slightly flattened at the poles. Thus, a globe shows the exact shape of the earth. Thirdly, the poles of the globes are also a little tilted in the same manner as the earth is. This slight tilt in the earth causes the change of season, which we experience in summer, winter, autumn, spring, monsoon, etc. Fourthly, we'll see the globes can nearly show the relief features of the earth, such as the oceans and mountains. And lastly, the globe is also helpful in ascertaining the distance between two places. It shows direction, relative size, and shapes of the oceans, continents, islands, and seas. Next, we'll see location, relative and absolute. Location signifies the place or position that something occupies in space or on the earth. It may be absolute or relative. Every place on the earth has a location which we sometimes understand in relation to the location of other places. For example, in order to describe the location of our children, turn the page. Location of our classroom, you may say that it is next to the library. Similarly, while describing the location of your house, you can say that it is to the right of a park or some other well-known places. In both these examples, we describe the location of two particular places in relation to other places located near them. Here, the location of the place that we originally referred to is called relative location. So next we'll see every place on the earth has a unique and definite location, be it a city, a house, or a shop. Each one of these places has an address of its own. This is called absolute location. And we'll see, you must have noticed lines crisscrossing a globe or a map. These lines form the grid system. These lines are the lines of latitude and longitude. Next we'll see latitudes. Latitudes can be defined as imaginary lines that run horizontally in a west-east direction. The equator is the central as well as the longest latitude. It divides the earth in two equal halves to the north and south of it. Each half is called a hemisphere, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. The equator is regarded as the 0 degree latitude and thus the main reference point. All the latitudes are measured as angles from the center of the earth, north or south of the equator. These are 90 degrees of latitude to the north of the equator and 90 degree of latitude to its south. Next we'll see important latitudes. There are 180 parallels of latitudes, 90 to the north and the remaining 90 to the south of the equator. Of these, some are considered important parallels as they are used as reference points in geography. These are the equator 0 degree, the Tropic of Cancer 23 half degree north, the Tropic of Capricorn 23 half degree south, the Arctic Circle 66 half degree north and the Antarctic Circle 66 half degree south. These latitudes are also believed to mark the beginning and the end of the broad climatic zones of the earth. See children, this is North Pole 90 degree north, South Pole 90 degree south. Now next we'll see climatic zones. The torrid zone is the area between the two tropics, the Tropic of Cancer in the north and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. The sun's rays fall vertically on this zone, so it has very hot temperatures. It is regarded as the hottest part of the earth. This area is also called the tropics. The temperate zone is a combination of two separate portions. The area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the north and that between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the south. Here the sun never comes overhead and its rays are slanting, so enough heat does not reach this area. Therefore, this zone has moderate temperatures. The frigid zone is also a combination of two regions. One lies between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole and the other between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. These regions are permanently frozen because they receive extremely slanting rays of the sun. This zone is regarded as the coldest on earth since the sun hardly rises above the horizon. It has 6 months of daylight and 6 months of night. Children, this is enough for today. You read this and write down the important notes. What I taught you, and rest of this part we will discuss in my next video. Till then, thank you.